Which one's your favorite? Mine's Tracer. She is enough, the cavalry is...
Woo! Damn, really about 7 years since the original trailer of Overwatch, we finally are getting Overwatch 2. Isn't that exciting? The only bad part now is Overwatch 2 got cancelled this close to release. In fact, at the recording of this, it's like a couple of hours before the game releases.
Monsieur, does this mean Overwatch is back?
No.
Really, one of the greatest thoughts on everyone's mind right now, what exactly is new about Overwatch 2? And is the meme true that Overwatch 2 is just the same game?
Next really early, and that's going to allow Sparkle to take this high ground here through the train.
Yeah, this train car forms a bit of an overpass on this map, and Sparkle was hoping to get some work done,
dude.
but you're dealing with the stone cold killer Violet. He gets
Same
rid of
game.
both the enemy defense.
Now, if you are out of the loop for Overwatch editions, I'm gonna rapid fire all the new features quickly.
Right around the corner.
First off, we have brand new maps. A push map, Esperanza. Monte Carlo, Circuit Royal, it's an escort map. New York Midtown, Hybrid Escort. Rio Paraiso, Hybrid Escort. Rome Colosseo, push map. And lastly, Toronto New Queen Street, push. And of course, you have brand new playable heroes. You have a brand new DPS, Sojourn, who uses a railgun as her gun. You have the Junker Queen from Junkertown. And finally, a brand new support, Kiriko. Alongside that, there's a brand new mode releasing for quick play and competitive, Push, where you push a robot to your endgame. It's an all-out game of tug-of-war. There will also be the massive switch from 6 versus 6 to 5 versus 6, with there only being one tank. With some of the basic reworks, we have Doomfist switching to tank, no more one-shotting with his punch. He can use really nice combos to escape and engage the enemy team and tank a massive amount of damage, but he is not the massive dealing character more. Bastion, he can move now while shooting his machine gun. He no longer has tank form, he has artillery fire. Orisa, no shield, more damage, fortify stronger, pull gone, now a javelin, and her ult is a channel that pulls people together and slams them onto the ground. Then we have Dave, Cassidy, something like that. No flashbang, now a 120 sticky grenade. Mei, can't freeze, only a ray that slows and damages. Sombra, she does 40% extra damage to hack targets. There's a brand new addition of roll passives, DPS, 25% movement speed and reload speed for 2.5 seconds after a kill. Tanks have 30% knockback resistance and give 50% less ultimate when damaged. All supports self-heal for 15 health points per second after not getting hit for 1.5 seconds. At this, you also have Competitive 2.0, with more news on the way and changes subject to change after the game releases. But the very basics are, Elo is not exactly just SR. Now what you have are tiers, divisions, such as in League, where you have Silver 1 of 4. You have that in Overwatch 2 now. Your SR, or your division ranks, are now evaluated every 7 wins or 20 losses. This isn't updated after every game, so you have to either get 7 wins, 20 losses, or I think it just updates after a while. Anyways, the point is, the principal focus is that your individual play is important. However, most likely your wins are also still impacted heavily, but however, it is an improvement where your performance is actually taken into account too. I would imagine your damage, your support, or your healing, your damage mitigation, all such important factors into what you're doing. For example, even another one that's usually a very unknown number that not a lot of people pay attention to, objective time. Really important. It also seems from a massive overhaul to seasonal game modes, such as the upcoming replacement to Junkerstein's Revenge, although not really a replacement, just a overhaul. It's now called Junkerstein's Revenge, The Wrath of the Bride. This is Sombra as a main villain and Winston as a potential minion. And most importantly, as Overwatch 1 had a $60 price tag, the brand new monetization comes from bundles, and you should have guessed it, a battle pass system. Kiriko will be unlocked to all brand new players to Overwatch 2 as long as you owned Overwatch 1, or you can unlock it in the free track, the primary way of locking new characters when it releases with a battle pass. The battle pass itself has a free track and a pay track. The free track has the hero unlock at level 50 something, 2 epic skins, 2 souvenirs, 1 random charm, and a couple random cosmetics. The pay track costs $10, has an instant hero unlock if hero releases in that season's battle pass, 20% season XP, kinda lame. Here's the interesting part. All new mythic skin actually looks like it had a lot of effort put into. Coolest design skin with actual customization to look besides Golden Gun. 5 legendary skins, cool. 1 epic skin, 56 extra cosmetics like titles and gun buddies. Prestige titles to farm after reaching max level on pass, complete weekly challenges for coins, actual paid currency, and weekly bundles from what has been told. In terms of the seasonal structure, content every 9 weeks. Besides skins and regular patch notes, those stuff won't be affected. If something needs to get patched, it will get patched. New map every season, or so far from what we understand. New season will have new hero, but then fourth, it will only be added every other season, so in other words, 18 weeks of each other. Every battle pass will have a mythic skin. PvE comes out next year, that will be a standalone game, and new quote-unquote modes, potentially upcoming in seasons. Great, so why is everyone saying Overwatch 2 is the same game? The gameplay is like 5 big patches put into one, probably a little bit more. People aren't happy that Blizzard has taken most of the free aspects of Overwatch 1, such as loot boxes pretty much being free and easy. Now, skins are much harder to obtain for free, as the main form will be getting 60 Overwatch coins weekly through challenges, which, by the way, if you were to play for free, you would be able to unlock the battle pass for free. You shouldn't be counting on it, but it's nice. Now, it is important to note, I believe if there are 60 Overwatch coins obtainable weekly, then when a new character releases every 18 weeks, you should be able to instantly unlock new characters when they release playing completely free and still enjoying free skins. I imagine they will still have a small collection to obtain free skins. A small one, but it's nice. Perhaps by using the character challenges where you play games, you can obtain cool skins. Anyways, I really do want to address the monetization because it is kind of interesting. The game has gone on a lot of controversy already due to its monetization, which, to be honest, it was pretty predictable from the start. Players already knew the game was going to be free to play, so what did players expect? No battle pass, keep loot boxes, make the game entirely free with no money incentive? I don't like sucking up to big companies who just want money, but I'm gonna be honest, they also need to make money. It doesn't need to be a ridiculous amount, and I'll actually explain the math. I don't even think they're asking for... You could, ideally, with the maximum amount of FOMO you can reach into, you could still even spend less than your average $60 AAA game that you spend on every single year. The game's actually relatively cheaper than even some of its competitors. But, let me go ahead and explain it. Overwatch probably hasn't made any money from the average Overwatch player since releasing their game and selling original game copies to their game. It's probably why they sell you the game closer to cheap, because they'd rather get you to their store. Ironically, the only part that you might really FOMO into buying is instant character unlocks in Overwatch 2, so the question is, how bad is it? According to Overwatch 2, it takes about 2 weeks on average to unlock the new character using the free check, which was done on purpose to acquire a new champion before it releases for ranked. So in terms of competitive integrity, they still have thought about it. Is it amazing? No, but I'm gonna be honest, it beats having this game for $60 and keeping this game dead in almost every single way possible. Now think about it. When you think about it, if there are 3 characters releasing every year, then that is about $30 if you want the full experience to the game without cosmetics, to at least instantly unlock it. And you also get the skins and cosmetics with it. Valorant and Rainbow Six Siege, to name 2 examples, have pretty identical models in terms of how long to obtain free and options for paid. In fact, if I had to take an exact guess, Overwatch made their hero unlock identical to Valorant's model, if not better, because in Valorant, you don't get to use the battle pass to unlock the character. In Valorant, if you want the instant character, you have to spend $10 and you don't get access to the battle pass. In Overwatch, you get the battle pass, and the instant unlock character. Now, you can also spend less than 2 weeks unlocking or spend the $10 extra, but it's just more work. And if you don't have time, you can always spend $10 and you get the battle pass. Not justifying, but I am saying that it's probably better than like 80% of the games right now in the market. Now, I also believe, and don't quote this as fact, it could be wrong, Rainbow has a yearly pass to unlock operators, I believe, and the pricing is relatively around the same. Beforehand, the model came out, I estimated how much it would cost to play Overwatch 2 yearly if you just wanted all the characters. Because at the end of the day, that's really your full experience. Characters, maps, modes, ranked. That's pretty much it in terms of competitive integrity. And I estimated around $40 to $60 a year, and that was actually completely totally wrong. It really is around $30 just for characters, and if you get the battle pass. Actually, it's kind of better than I expected. I knew loot boxes were going away. They're practically incentive to never spend money on making Blizzard not wanting to continue developing Overwatch since there's no cash flow. You know, it's not great that companies make a lot of money just because they want to raise their prices and they don't really give you more content, but come on, this was a really long time coming. They need money, right? They're not going to develop a game they're not even making money. Like, they're not even, like, canceling themselves out with, like, they're not even going even. They're not breaking even because they're not making any money. So it's kind of ironic to me that people want this game to be entirely free, which is fair, but they're not making this game, they're not making this game pay to win, at least not fundamentally, and it's still mostly free. You're going to attract millions, if not millions more of players just for having your game free. Now quickly, I forgot to put this in my documentation that I was actually writing up, but the way it works with new players to unlock characters, since they only have about 5 characters, like probably like 1 or 2 in every role, the problem is that they don't have these characters unlocked. According to Blizzard, it takes you roughly about 100 games to unlock all the new older characters. If you're a new character or a new account who's never played Overwatch 2, if you played Overwatch 1, you already have every character unlocked because you already did it in Overwatch 1. Anyways, the point is, I actually did a little bit of math and how you should actually be able to interpret these numbers. If it takes you roughly 100 games to unlock every character, you'll be unlocking a new character around every 3 to 4 games, which is roughly 30 to 40 minutes without queue times. Very fast, very brief. You should be able to unlock most characters pretty fast. In fact, it incentivizes players to actually learn the character before they switch to another character, which can make competitive games more interesting because then you see the less situation of having one-trick mains and, for example, competitive. It makes people have to understand every character before they reach rank. But that's not the point. Let's get to the math. If it takes you roughly around 100 games to be able to unlock every character in Overwatch, the question is, will you be able to unlock every character before you hit rank? And the answer is, most people, if not half, or at least on average, should be able to get close to unlocking every character before they reach rank. The reason is because in order for you to unlock rank, if you've never played Overwatch 1, is you need 50 games of 1. In other words, if you win 50% of your games, by your 100th game, you would have unlocked ranked, which means you would have unlocked almost every single character. Now, let's say that you got really good and you won 75% of your games. Well, you're still probably really close to unlocking every character anyways, but think about it like this. If you're playing ranked, you have 3 roles that you choose from, which means that you have to choose a role, which means that you're probably unlocking characters in that role. So if you're maining DPS, you would have unlocked every DPS character. You don't have to unlock every tank or every healer because you only need to play DPS. So by the time you come to rank, you will have all these ranked characters. You will not be sacrificing competitive integrity when the game comes out. If you're DPS, the only character, if you play for free, might be Kiriko, but I believe that Kiriko doesn't even come out 2 weeks after Overwatch 2 comes out. At least in ranked. It will always be here in quick play. Now, an important note to mention, Overwatch 2 PvP is not what they've been working on for the last 3 to 4 years since we saw the Overwatch 2 0-hour trailer review. Now, Only was this mentioned by Blizzard recently in an interview by stating that they scrambled to get a release date for October 4th. They've been doing this for about a year, since it looks like they worked on Toronto and pushed for the announcements years ago, but haven't really worked on the PvP aspect since. This would make sense since Overwatch 1 ceased its game development ages ago, getting the last hero 2 years ago, and that is mostly likely due to employees moving to the PvE. Yeah, you heard me correctly. It is extremely likely 95% of the time spent working on Overwatch 2 is the PvE co-op. It's supposed to be extremely long. And alongside, I wouldn't be surprised if several heroes have already been created as a buffer for updates. I would imagine they have 3, maybe 4 characters already mostly completed, probably not bug-free, but mostly tested and ready for a release. Does that excuse Overwatch 2 for having less content than estimated? Absolutely not. But it doesn't ruin it. I guess the reason why they were going to separate Overwatch 2 PvE release with the PvP release was due to them dropping Overwatch 1 PvP altogether. They essentially killed the game, guys, because they didn't update it. And they need to slowly rebuild their trust in the community with promising updates to PvP. So how do you view Overwatch 2? You should view it not as a new game, but the promise that they will actually develop the game, or continue updating it according to their plan every 9 weeks, without an incredibly obstructive game model. Pay to win does not technically exist, the game is entirely free to play, and it's not like, oh, you need to spend 100 hours for it to be, in on even grounds. No, you can pretty much play right now and it's completely free to play. It's like League, it's like Valorant. The only thing that might be pay to win is hero unlocks, but you can unlock them, and they're somewhat reasonable. It's not like you're going to be spending 10 hours to unlock a champion, maybe the new champion that comes out. Now, this new monetization should give Blizzard an incentive to not abandon the game again and actually update the game, because there's a money incentive every single season. They need to release good updates in order for them to make money. Before, there was no incentive because they release a good update, but they make no money out of it because loot boxes are the only system, but they were basically giving it to free for everyone. Now, at least it should revive the game for at least a couple of months, and the metric for success is whether or not Overwatch will continue developing the game. Personally, I'm excited and disappointed they're only releasing 3 heroes. I wish we had gotten 6 for every character that we haven't gotten in the last 2 years, plus a couple of more, because it's technically a brand new game. But again, like I said, you should view it not as a different game, but the same, with the promise of updating the game. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's the continuation of development of Overwatch 1. It's the same game, and there should really be no reason hiding it. Again, they probably spent 5% of their time on development working on the PvP rather than the PvE, because don't forget, the PvE is the main focus right now. It's not the main focus, it's 2 separated, imagine this, it's 2 separated teams. There's the PvP team, and the PvE team. It's how, like, League of Legends, there's League of Legends, and there's Valorant. Different teams. That's how it works. Probably in game development too. Okay? But, I love the hype that they're building up, and hope for a better future for Overwatch. Anyways, if you enjoyed this informational video on Overwatch, then please like, subscribe, show it to your friend. I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know what you're supposed to do here at the end. Just do it. I don't know. Don't. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, and quick note.